killed him for money. And for a woman. And I didn't get the money, and I didn't get the woman.
Hi everyone, I'm Dom Griffin. I'm a film critic. You're watching the Armchair Auteur. This is an ongoing video series we do. We talk about new movies, old movies, screenplay analysis, that sort of thing. So if you like film culture, you like movies, like to see people pick it apart, please consider subscribing. Today we're going to be continuing Noirvember, where we're going to be talking about one of my favorite films. Not just favorite film noirs, just favorite films, period. We're going to be talking about Billy Wilder's classic film from 1944, Double Indemnity. Now, Double Indemnity, like I said, is not just one of my favorite film noirs, it is one of my favorite movies ever made. It has been a mainstay in my favorite films section on Letterboxd since I joined Letterboxd. I adore this film. I had to actually take some time before I recorded this just to get myself down to a normal person, human level, so I could talk about the film on here in this video without just making wild, loud, indistinguishable squeaking noises the entire time. I love Double Indemnity. I think the film has stuck with me so hard over the years because I saw it in my late teens, in high school when I was really first getting into film, and I think it just stuck with me because it introduced me to Billy Wilder's films. It introduced me to film noir in a lot of ways. One of the first film noir films I ever saw, and as a result, it has just always been a part of me. No matter how much my other interests and other tastes in popular culture have changed over the years, Double Indemnity is a mainstay. This rewatch that I did for this video is actually the second time I've rewatched the movie this year, just to give you an idea of how much I actually am obsessed with it. So, the basic plot. Double Indemnity, based on the James M. Cain novel, follows a pair of illicit lovers, Walter Neff, played by Fred MacMurray, and Phyllis Dietrichson, played by Barbara Stanwyck. Neff is an insurance salesman who meets Miss Dietrichson when he drops by her home to get her husband to renew the auto insurance he has on his 2 cars. But instantly, the two hit it off with some intense chemistry.
Who?
My husband. You were anxious to talk to him, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, but I'm sort of getting over the idea, if you know what I mean.
There's a speed limit in this state, Mr. Neff. 45 miles an hour.
How fast was I going, officer?
I'd say around 90.
Suppose you get down off your motorcycle and give me a ticket.
Suppose I let you off with a warning this time.
Suppose it doesn't take.
Suppose I have to whack you over the knuckles.
Suppose I bust out crying and put my head in your shoulder.
Suppose you try putting it on my husband's shoulder.
That tears it.
Neff, overcome by the indomitable power of thirst, cares less about making the sale and much more about stealing more larcenous glances at Miss Dietrichson's anklet. But it's in their second meeting, with her maid having the day off, that he begins to see her real interest in him is not him, but his business, and his ability to help her take out a life insurance policy on her husband without him knowing it. Immediately, Neff smells what's up and knows she wants to use him to bump off her hubby and get rich quick.
Boy, what a dope you must think I am.
I think you're rotten.
I think you're swell. So long as I'm not your husband.
Get out of here.
You bet I'll get out of here, baby. I'll get out of here, but quick.
Despite walking away, he still falls for the okie doke, because Barbara Stanwyck is just that good, and because her scheme blends perfectly with an idea he's long had to fuck over his own company, to murder someone and stage it like a train accident. Why a train?
He signed it, didn't he?
Sure he signed it. You saw him. Well, listen, that trip to Palo Alto, when does he leave?
End of the month.
He drives, huh?
He always drives.
Not this time. You're going to make him take the train.
Why?
Because it's all worked out for a train. Listen, baby. There's a clause in every accident policy, a little thing called double indemnity. The insurance companies put in as sort of a come-on for the customers. That means they pay double on certain accidents. The kind that almost never happen. Like, for instance, if a guy is killed on the train, they pay $100,000 instead of $50,000.
I see.
We're hitting it for the limit, baby. That's why it's got to be the train.
So, the film is about their scheme and the inevitable fallout after they pull it off and begin to tear each other apart when it looks like they might get caught. In many ways, it's the quintessential film noir and captures all the stylistic and thematic elements of the genre in amber, a timeless classic. So like I said earlier, Double Indemnity also sparked my lifelong obsession with Billy Wilder's works. Billy Wilder is, if not one of the greatest, maybe the greatest filmmakers to ever live, and the man has more unassailable classics to his name than I can think of any other filmmaker having in one lifetime. But rewatching the film this time, what I noticed was how slightly different the film overall feels to other Billy Wilder classics. All of Billy Wilder's films are varied, you know what I mean? Sunset Boulevard is different from Some Like It Hot. Some Like It Hot is different than The Apartment. The Apartment's different than Lost Weekend. He's a filmmaker with a lot of great films. They all vary in genre, style, and tone. But somewhat notably, this adaptation of Double Indemnity is not co-written with one of Billy Wilder's other longtime collaborators. Usually, he typically writes his screenplays either with Charles Brackett, whom he won an Academy Award with in 1951, or I.L. Diamond. In an odd creative move reminiscent of the infidelity within the film, Wilder adapted Cain's novel with fellow crime novelist Raymond Chandler, who has a very brief cameo in the finished film. The two didn't get along super well, at all, apparently, and it's been said that Billy Wilder felt like working with Raymond Chandler is what drove Raymond Chandler back to drinking, so not the best of pals. But the ensuing push and pull between them as collaborators, I think, is part of the reason the film is such an interesting middle point between their two styles. It really smartly blends Chandler's approach to sort of LA-spun cynicism and Billy Wilder's gift for efficient cinematic storytelling. Visually, Wilder and cinematographer John Seitz helped pioneer a visual language that became inescapable in later film noirs, particularly Wilder's experimentation with German expressionist touches and the film's use of Venetian blind lighting to give the impression of prison bars boxing the protagonists into their crooked plans. The film's dialogue is so clever and so acidic, so full of wit and portent, that it's able to help its three main leads, Fred MacMurray, Barbara Stanwyck, and Edward G. Robinson, who plays Neff's friend and mentor Keyes, to play against type and believably shift their established on-screen personas to fit this nasty and often cruel film that barely made it past the code of the time. Robinson in particular has a blast transitioning from playing a big villain much of his career to this charming character actor role, and his chemistry with MacMurray centers the friendship between the two men as the true heart of the film.
I love you too.
Not the doomed Neff-Dietrichson romance that, from the film's foreboding framing device, we know cannot survive. The film was originally written and shot to end with Neff in the electric chair, a conclusion borrowed from the real-life court case that inspired Cain's novel, but Chandler, who preferred this ending, was vetoed by Wilder, who knew the closing moments needed to be between Neff and Keyes, bringing their relationship a tragic comic full circle.
Because the guy you were looking for was too close. Right across the desk from you.
Closer than that, Walter.
I love you too.
Billy Wilder is someone who I think is known for writing very, very good endings to all of his movies. Like, every movie ends exactly the perfect way it should. But the end of Double Indemnity, with the cigarette getting lit, all that, it's chef's kiss. It's perfect. Double Indemnity is an exemplary piece of film. It's the kind of movie that you should watch if you've not seen, and you should pick it apart, study it, learn from it, just tear it to shreds and understand every little inch of it. But most importantly, you should watch it and enjoy it and consume it. It is so fun. It is perfect. I can guarantee you will love this movie, regardless of who you are. It's just that good. That is me on Double Indemnity. Every time I rewatch this movie, I'm reminded, like, this is perfect. I'm never going to get sick of this movie as long as I live, and I don't think you will either. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, hit the little bell icon so you get notifications when I put in new videos. I will have another Noirvember video out before the month is out, and we'll be reviewing other things as well on the channel, like in color. If you have any thoughts or feelings about Double Indemnity, please share them with me. If you want to talk about how this film is the thirstiest movie ever made, I support that. If you want to talk about Barbara Stanwyck's really bad wig, but otherwise fantastic performance, we can do that. All that down below. So thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, be good to each other, wear your masks, and we'll be back with a new video soon. Bye.